First up tonight is Sarah Sudhoff, a photographer and educator whose work has been exhibited nationally and internationally. Her images have been featured in the New York Times magazine, Forbes, 17 magazine, and Texas Monthly. She has a master's in fine arts and photography from Parsons, the New School for Design in New York City, as well as a bachelor's in journalism from the University of Texas at Austin. Now, in 2010, last year, Sudhoff was awarded a grant from the Artist Foundation of San Antonio and became the first artist in residence at the Kinsey Institute for Research in Sex, Gender, and Reproduction. That's interesting, huh? Her current body of work, At the Hour of Our Death, has been featured on Wired.com, Esquire Russia, and will be featured this summer at the Photo Ireland Festival in Dublin and the Belfast Photo Festival as well. Her series also recently won second place overall in the Magenta Foundation's International Flash Forward competition, which opens in Canada this fall. A short documentary on the making of the project was released last October and can be viewed at Vimeo.com. That's Vimeo.com. She is a co-founder of the Austin Center for Photography and currently serves on the faculty at the University of Texas at San Antonio and Trinity University. Let's hear it for Sarah Sudhoff.
Just press the space bar whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Take a deep breath.
Oh my god. Okay, can people hear me in the back? Yes? No? Yes? Talk louder? Yes? Okay, louder? Okay, more? Okay, I'm short. Okay. Okay, we'll try this. Alright. Okay, I'm fascinated by Victorian mourning rituals, the act of photographing the dead in the home amongst family, and the creation of reliquaries by the living, containing hair of the deceased. I find it unfortunate that these traditions are not still carried on today in most families. Acceptable forms of public and private mourning are absent in Western society. Death, like birth, is part of the process. However, the processes of death are often shielded from view. Now the stain is quickly removed and the scene is cleaned and normalized. Filled areas raised in the hour of death. Society no longer observes a pause. The disappearance of an individual no longer affects its continuity. However, many contemporary artists are exploring these very issues. This is work by Andre Serrano. His large-scale photographs from the series Morgue are intended to be seen in the gallery environment, allowing the public to view the dead once again in public arenas. Harvest by contemporary artist Joel Peter pictures the human face surrounded by vegetation, reminding us that everything has a season. While attending graduate school, I had the opportunity to meet Witkin, and although I personally take issue with some of his images, I have the same desire to reveal the truth surrounding us and casting light where others are afraid to look. This is work by Jason Lazarus, a photographer out of Chicago. He was given a portion of the artist Robert Heineken's ashes. In this series called Heineken's Studies, Jason took the remains into the darkroom, creating photograms using Heineken's ashes and dialing in the magenta or yellow on the enlarger to create the photograms. This work is by German photographer Walter Schell's. It's called Life Before Death, photographing a person before they, obviously when they were alive, and then after they had, when they were deceased. Renee Zittel-Sterling, a metalsmith of Chicago who has become a close friend, created a series called Objects of Mourning, honoring the passing of her grandfather, father, and brother. And these objects contain clothing from those deceased family members. And the one on the right, she can hypothetically breathe in their scent. Much like Renee, who is working from personal experience, my current series, At the Hour of Death, which you're seeing up there, part of the series, arose from an event which happened when I was 17 years old. I happened to be at the home of a high school friend the day after he committed suicide, and the trauma scene cleanup crew was there cleaning the carpets in his bedroom. And when I went into his bedroom, all evidence of the past 24 hours had been erased. At the Hour of Our Death takes us at starting point, Philip Airy's observation that death's invisibility enhances its terror. In 2010, I began working with the crime scene cleanup crew and photographing the fragments that they brought back to the warehouse. These large-scale color photographs capture and fully illuminate swatches of bedding, carpet, and upholstery marked with the signs of the passing of human life. These fabrics, which are first removed, are relocated to the warehouse before being incinerated. It is here in the warehouse that I photograph these fragments. I tack each swatch to the wall and use the crew's floodlights to illuminate the scene. Similar to Serrano's Morgue series, which I didn't get to mention before, but each piece is titled with the way in which the person died, their gender, and their age. For example, this is a heart attack, male, 50 years old. There are actually 3 pieces from the same person in my series, and at the end of the title they have 1, 2, or 3. This is another one from the same heart attack. This is from actually a Lazy Boy recliner, and he had a heart attack and decomposed. And so the blue is the outer layer, and this is the layer that was touching the springs. All the images are shot with a Contax 645 medium format camera using Fujichrome film. The chrome allows me to enlarge the images with little to no grain appearing at the 40 by 30 inch scale. The images are larger than life, further abstracting the stains and the material. This is a peek, well, okay, I'm at the end already. Joel Peter Witkin, a quote that he said that I really like: "I want to live in an age which sees similar beauty in a flower and in a severed limb of a human being. But perhaps before such egalitarian consciousness is attained, there will always be in the arts those hunters in darkness who hold mirrors up to the face of fear. These reflections show the ruins of our singular and collective selves. The grotesque of our lostness is brutal indulgence. I choose a subject in the hope that through its brutal explicitness and formal presentation, that an evolution will be maintained, that all art must be born out of the need to define mortality. Therefore, I photograph conditions of being, life, and its logical extension, death. The subject matter is grotesque, since it is what we, in our darkest moments, have become. I'm interested in creating, this is me again, sorry. I'm interested in creating that tension in my photographs between something that can be both beautiful and unsettling. I want my photographs to grab you visually with their saturated hues and their texture, only to throw you off balance when you realize the truth of their origins. My intention is not to be shocking or insensitive, but rather to position the viewer just beyond their comfort zone, allowing space to retreat, comprehend, and engage again with the work. The images are my attempt to slow the moments before and after death into a single frame, to allow what is generally invisible to become visible, and to engage with the process from which we have become disconnected. And I finished a little early. And this one is suicide with gun, male, 40 years old.
Thank you, Sarah. Are there any questions? Just for Sarah.